Welcome to my channel. Ethan Couch. A very big thank you to my viewer for suggesting today's content. It was on the night of June 15, 2013, when Ethan Couch, aged 16, was driving his vehicle with friends, when he crashed. At the time he was driving on a restricted license, and was also under the influence of drugs and alcohol. He was also speeding through a residential area. Sadly, Ethan Couch lost control of his vehicle and collided with a group of people who had stopped to help another driver on the side of the road. In the accident, 9 people were injured, and sadly 4 people were killed. 2 of the passengers who were traveling in Ethan's vehicle had serious injuries, with 1 passenger suffering complete paralysis. It is believed that the passengers in Ethan's car were not wearing any seat belts at the time of the crash. Ethan had already been cited at just 15 for minor consumption of alcohol, and for a minor in possession of alcohol, after he was caught parked in his vehicle with a naked 14-year-old girl. He was sentenced at the time to probation and 12 hours of community service. Ethan's parents were Fred and Tanya Couch, and were both wealthy. Ethan had attended a private school for a while, before finally enrolling in community college. It is believed that at just 13, Ethan would drive himself to school. This was something his parents allowed him to do. On the night of the crash, Ethan had been spotted by a surveillance camera stealing beer from a Walmart. He was also seen with 7 passengers inside his vehicle. The vehicle involved in the crash had belonged to his father. It is also said that he was traveling at speeds of around 70 miles per hour on Burleston-Retta Road. At the time of the crash, Brianna Mitchell's vehicle had stalled. Holly Boyles and her daughter Shelby came out to help Brianna. Passerby Brian Jennings also stopped to assist. It wasn't long after this that Ethan's vehicle swerved off the road and struck them all, before finally crashing into Brian's parked car, which in turn struck an oncoming vehicle. Ethan's vehicle flipped over and struck a tree. Brianna Mitchell, Brian Jennings, Holly Boyles, and Shelby Boyles were all killed in the crash. 2 children who were inside Brian Jennings' vehicle and the 2 people inside the oncoming vehicle all survived. It was 3 hours after the crash, when it was found that Ethan's blood alcohol content was 3 times over the legal limit. He also tested positive for marijuana and diazepam. Ethan was arrested after the crash, and the Tarrant County prosecutors wanted to seek a 20-year prison sentence. However, it was claimed that he was the product of affluenza, which is a psychological condition affecting wealthy people. This, however, is not a medically recognized disease. It was Ethan's attorneys who claimed this condition and said he needed rehabilitation and not a prison sentence, even though he had killed 4 people. Ethan would be sentenced to a rehabilitation facility, which was at the expense of his parents. He was ordered to stay away from drugs, alcohol, and driving. It was found that in 2014, Ethan began treatment at the North Texas State Hospital, which is a state-owned inpatient health facility in Vernon, Texas. This came as a real blow for the family of the victims, who wanted to see him in prison. He did not receive the 20 years prison sentence as hoped. Many people believe that Ethan's family's money played a big part in his sentencing, with many people believing that the sentence was much too lenient. On April 13, 2016, the state district judge ordered Ethan to spend 720 days in prison. He would be released April 2, 2018. When Ethan was released, he was required to wear an ankle monitor and an alcohol detection patch. He also had a 9 p.m. curfew, and had to submit drug tests. When Ethan was allowed to drive again, his vehicle had to be equipped with an ignition device, which prevents him from starting the vehicle without passing a breathalyzer test first. His ankle monitor would be finally removed in 2019. However, Ethan would go on to be arrested again in 2020 for violating his probation, but he was released the following day. A total of 5 lawsuits were filed by the victims' families against Ethan and his parents. Most of the lawsuits would be settled out of court. For the victims' families, they still believe that his sentence should have been more severe. After all, he was a young boy who went on to kill 4 innocent people and escape a long prison sentence. We forever remember the victims in this tragic crash. May you never be forgotten. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel to view other content.